Chapter 14. A Crowning Achievement. Tony Pizarro's Historic Role. Big Thinking Precedes Great Achievement. Wilford Arlen Peterson, American author, 1900 to 1995. Tony Pizarro did not only serve in the U.S. Navy, finish his contract, and comfortably retired, just like the thousands of his fellow recruits from the Philippines. Not only did he rise from the ranks to become an officer, establishing a record among his peers in the speed at which he was promoted. More importantly, he made a very drastic and important contribution in the operation of the Navy, a systemic change that benefited thousands of stewards, mostly Filipinos, who came after him. He was the one responsible for the removal of the outdated and unfair elements in the job description that denote the menial and sometimes degrading tasks of steward ratings. In September of 1974, Tony was summoned to attend a conference that aimed to combine the commissary rating, CS, and the steward rating, SD, into one post to be called the new Mess Management Specialist, MS. It was one of the highlights of Tony's career. He was handpicked to become a member of the commissary and steward merger panel at the Bureau of Naval Personnel in Washington, D.C. The panel was composed of 4 commissary men and 4 steward men. They were to make recommendations for composing the job description of the new position of Mess Management Specialist rating, MS. It was known among the higher-ups that Tony was a former steward who had become a commissary man. They were 2 different career paths, parallel to each other. But Tony had a chance to occupy both posts. His superiors felt that he could give significant insights to the discussion due to his personal experiences in both fields. He was fully qualified for the task and carried a big voice. When he spoke, everybody listened, since he was the only one among them who worked as a steward. Secretly, Tony told himself that they picked the wrong guy, for he was hell-bent on changing the rules to benefit the incoming stewards, mostly newly recruited Filipinos. He was determined to spare his fellow Filipinos from suffering the ignominy he experienced as a young steward. The panel discussion centered on the readiness of incoming Filipino recruits to become future food service officers, and to work as department heads and to acquire personal leadership skills. What made their task urgent was the prevailing climate of inequity towards the Filipino and Black American recruits, making them susceptible to abuse by their officers. During the discussions on the proposed job description of the new post, Mess Management Specialist rating, it was Tony who was very vocal in making important changes while the others remained quiet. He made strong recommendations of doing away with the menial tasks of shining shoes, cleaning up the officers' staterooms, carrying the officers' uniforms to the laundry, making up beds for officers, and, at times, walking the admiral's dogs when assigned to their private quarters. He battled hard to assign Filipino Americans to leadership positions and increased promotion percentages to the new mess management ratings. His recommendations were well accepted and eventually approved, changing forever the lives of thousands of mostly Filipino American and African American stewards. Tony was among the selectees for the Chief Warrant Officer program in later years.